I just got these little dice. I mean, I'm sorry if I'm too close to the camera. I might be scaring some people, but I saw this really cool idea on Instagram for managing your to-do list in like a fun way. So I will link to the original video that gave me this idea so you can watch that, but I'm gonna record my version and let you know how it goes. This is a Worthy Hours lab experiment. Okay, so part of the reason I'm so excited to use this method is that I think there are a few times where it probably is going to work the best. The first is when I have a bunch of tasks that I need to do that are about equally important, and I'm okay if they don't all get done. So that is tomorrow. I'm getting ready for my day tomorrow, which is why I'm at my table instead of at my desk where I am normally. And so I'm gonna get ready to make that list of tasks for my dice roll list. I don't remember what she called it in the video, but she is my hero. So I will link to it. I will make sure that that is like the first thing in the description. So if you wanna watch that video, you can kind of see what she does as well. I've made a couple of rules for myself with this that she didn't talk about in hers. The first rule is that everything that I put on this list needs to be able to be done in 15 minutes or less. If there's anything I want to do tomorrow that is going to take more than 15 minutes, I need to step back and evaluate if that needs to be like one of my big tasks for the day, and then these will be the things that sort of fit around those big tasks, if that makes sense. The second thing is I am going to take her suggestion from the video, and I am going to put some fun things in here as well. So I'm really excited for both of those things. I am excited about using the dice to like figure out which task I'm going to do. So let's get started. So at the top, I'm just gonna write what this is. So I'm gonna write dice roll to do. And I just like using these watercolor pens for my lettering. And I don't really know why. They're just really fun to use and they make me happy. Now on the video that she did, she made hers all pretty, and I would normally be tempted to do that as well, but it's just been one of those days. I know if I make it pretty, I am not going to actually make the list. So we're gonna focus on functionality right now because I'm very excited to do this tomorrow and I wanna make sure that it's done. So, okay. So let's see, 15 minutes or less. What's something I want to do tomorrow? Okay. I'm going to write make bread. Technically, making bread takes more than 15 minutes. However, it takes less than 15 minutes to get it going. So this is basically, I would be starting making the bread if I roll a 1. 2. Okay, good morning. I am getting ready to do the dice roll. Right here, you can see my to-do list behind me. I'm gonna go grab my dice and we're gonna figure out what the first thing is I'm gonna do today. Okay, so me and the dice are back. And I just have to say that this method was a really fun way to get some things done without feeling burdened by the guilt of not being able to get all of it done. Because I did have 20 things. I probably could have thought of even more than 20 things that I wanted to do that day, but they were all about equally important. Nothing was like the most important thing. And so this was a really fun way to just kind of roll a die and see what happened. I got to do some fun things like work on some of my hooky projects. I got to take my dog for an extra little walk. I got to take a relaxing bath. That was actually kind of how I wrapped up the list for the week. And it was a really good experience. I was able to get a lot more done than I thought I would because every time I was like, okay, I can work on something else for 15 minutes now. I would roll the die. Let me see, which one was it? I think it was this one. I'd roll the die, I'd get my number, and I'd go ahead and do it. Some of the things that could take longer than 15 minutes, I just set a 15-minute timer and did it. And then the things that took less than 15 minutes, I was like, cool, I've got a few extra minutes. I can either chill out or I can roll the die again and see what's next. And most of the time, I just really wanted to see what's next. I made it into a fun game instead of something that overwhelmed me. And the things that I didn't roll on my die, I was like, okay, well, that's fine. I guess I'll leave it on the list and do it next week. I actually had such a good experience that my husband and I are planning on doing it this weekend together for the household tasks that we normally do over the weekend or throughout the week. So we can roll it in the evenings. We haven't, so we may have a lot to do come Friday night or Saturday. But basically what we did was we didn't include any of the tasks that we do daily. So like dishes, we didn't include that. Or we also didn't include anything that is scheduled for a certain day of the week. So for example, taking out the trash has to be done the night before the trash goes out. You can't do it like, a week ahead of time or a day late. So we didn't include anything that was time sensitive or that was done daily, but everything that we can do about once a week or less, and that we really feel good about doing at the house, like, vacuuming different parts of the house, mopping, or, cleaning the bathroom. I usually do that once a week. Doing a deep clean in the kitchen, anything like that. We're going to try rolling the dice and figuring out what we're going to do in what order, who's going to do what, and we're both really excited about it. So this is a very fun method. I recommend trying it if you need a little bit of a way to spice up your to-do list. I don't know that I would do it every day all the time, but if you have a certain amount of time to devote to things, or if you structure your list in such a way that it's not going to stress you out to do it here and there throughout the week, it can be a really fun way to just kind of figure out what you're going to do next and then not feel bad for not being able to get everything done, because you are human and you have limits, and sometimes a nice little die can remind you of that.